made for the country life when you turn to your wife while shoveling sheep poop and say, ah, this is fun. That is what just happened behind the scenes.
It is though. Like,
it is fun, honestly. I think it's the process of being outside and
interacting with the land and the animals and like preparing for a big garden and knowing that like the labor that we put in now is gonna pay off later in the year with delicious organic vegetables.
Oh, I can't. For these garden beds, you don't have to weed. That's the beauty in it. But because these beds have gone so insanely to weed, I mean, I've already taken out so much. This was way worse before. Hi, Wilson. This is it's just crazy. So we feel better if we do a little bit of weeding, just because we're not even gonna be able to put the poop down right now as the foundation because it's just so crazy long. So we're just gonna pull out what we can. We're not gonna be particular about it and try to get it all out or anything, but we're just gonna pull some out so that we can have a more even space to start applying layers. Some of you might be wondering why we're collecting poo.
It's because we have a poo fetish. No, it's because poo has all sorts of great nutrients for your garden. Actually, fun fact, before we had sewage systems, cities like Paris back in like medieval times, people would actually go around and they would collect even human manure because they would take that and bring it out to the countryside and fertilize the farms. And
some countries still use human poo.
Probably, and honestly, you know, we're not saying that we're going to be going into the garden bed and doing a number 2, but there's plenty of animals on this piece of property. There have been 5 rams here. There's poop everywhere, and there were some cattle that got in here before we moved in, so there's some cow patties as well. There's just a good combination. Poop has nutrients, and nutrients that your plants and the soil really need. So it's part of that regenerative cycle.
We have a wheelbarrow full of weeds. We've got some cow dung on this one.
Lanka.
Sheep. Lanka, do not eat the poo.
Don't eat the poo.
We've got 3 beds with their foundation. And we've got 3 other beds to go. This one has some great kale in it. So we're gonna work around that because that is a mature bunch of kale, which is great.
Some asparagus that we'll just
There's some asparagus over there. So we're gonna see what we can salvage. We've already pulled out some little kale sprouts out of these ones. Did you hear that sound? That is the sound of a hungry lamb. It's time for me to feed him. Alex's shadows. He's got 2 of them now. Okay, just wait. I'm gonna shut this door. Just wait. Yeah, it's very exciting. I know, this is your favorite time of day. Let's go. Come on, be careful. One time he just like flew down the stairs and it was terrifying. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. All right, ready? You ready? Okay, good job. Oh, there we go. Oh, good job. Good job. Yummy. Oh yeah, look at that tail go. Look at that body, you're getting so much stronger. You are growing like crazy. Every time I look at him, he looks bigger. Like his nose is bigger. His head's taking shape more. Wow, they grow fast. What are you doing, Lucky? Hi. Good boy, Lanka. job, Wilson. Oh, such a big growing boy. Nice. Took that down. Let's walk around now. Come on, let's digest. This moment right now is one of the moments that it's just one of those pinch me moments. I'm sitting here by the pond. I can see a horse and a posy grazing. I can see little Wilson coming towards me. And I'm sitting here by the pond. And Wilson's me. And then the ducks are right there as well. Alex is over there still shoveling fertilizer. And I'm just soaking this all in. And I just wanted to share this moment with you all. We are getting our washer and dryer today, and I'm not gonna lie. This room, which is considered the mudroom, is just absolutely not my favorite room. And that's a nice way of saying it. It's the room that was neglected for 15 years, I think. So.
How about 50? When was this house built? 50 years ago?
Please grab that and put it in the garage.
Yeah, oh, well, by that, do you mean this large, rusty
Okay, do not put that
rat
in my head.
trap?
Bring that.
Is that what you want me to touch? Yeah, okay.
Bring that into the garage.
Yep.
So like I said, washer and dryer is coming. So we're just trying to make this room feel a bit better. We are going to make this room sparkle and shine and guys, we're gonna make this the mudroom of your dreams, of our dreams. And I can't wait for it to happen, but there's way more other things that are more pressing that need to happen because this room's sort of separated from the main house. As you can see, there's a literal, there's a cutout in the door.
It's not Chronicles of Narnia either. It goes
not
straight,
Narnia.
It goes straight to hell.
Outside of our house is Narnia, but
through that hole. That's the upside down.
Yeah. Anyways, just saying, real here, just showing you guys the before of what, this mudroom will look like later.
This is the scariest, in my opinion, the scariest part of the house, which I haven't done yet and will be in an upcoming video, is going underneath into the bowels of the house through this little trap door. Look at this thing. Oh, it's down there.
But I get it. This is the room that gets neglected because it's the room that they probably had their washer in, and it's not connected to the house, so you just put random stuff in it that you don't want to look at.
Anywhere else.
And so it is what it is. And so we're going to make it, because it is right off of our door that we enter every single day to get in and out of the house. It is a really great room. It's really useful. There's a bathroom on the other side of this door with a toilet, which is fantastic. So it's great. I'm not complaining about this room. I love that we have this extra room. It's a full-blown laundry room. I love it. I just know that there's a lot to do in here to bring it up to where we want it to be. But I have pinned many, many things on Pinterest. And I have lots of ideas for this room, and it's going to be awesome when it's done.
Oh, one more. Yes.
Yeah, it looks like it's plugged. Oh, it might be a bin.
Yeah, right?
It might be a bin going somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. I know. It kind of looks like it turns.
Yeah. I think it might go out that way.
Hello, hello. It's a new day. Good morning. We have some exciting things happening today. First off, exciting news. update on this second bedroom. It is officially painted, which is so exciting, guys. This room used to be green and it had a lot of cracks, and it's looking really beautiful, and it's all due to this man right here. Later on today, our plan is to paint the trims. I'm going to help Alex paint the windowsill and then the trims on the bottom because they just need to be touched up. We might just go full blown with rice cake on the bottom because there are a lot of marks on the bottom trim. And then the windowsill just really needs a good paint job all around because it looks like maybe they just painted it with primer because you can see like gray through all of the paint. So we're just gonna freshen that up. We are about to head into town because today we are going to be looking at some finishings. The guy who's helping us with renovations said head over to a place called Zip and then a place called Tile Warehouse to look at tiling, look at a sink, look at, you know, maybe a bath, things like that to get an idea of what our bathroom is going to look like. I'm pretty sure the last time we saw each other, I was just happily in the mudroom, cleaning it out, getting it ready for our washer dryer that was coming. I can't even begin to explain to you what happened after that, the series of events after that had happened. It was drama.
Trauma.
Like nothing I've ever experienced in my life. So here's a quick clip of what happened. If you would like to see that in further details, definitely go check out Alex's video that he has up on his channel. Our fireplace has red tile that we do not love, and we really want to switch it out. And I know that we're here for the bathroom, but we're still getting inspiration on other things, and we really like a Moroccan vibe for that small space by the fireplace. So either like something like this. I really like this because it's super neutral, and I love the mixed patterns like that. And it's a really small space, so it won't be too much because it's so small, that I think mixing different patterns is really nice. This is actually really hard. There are a lot of options, and I have all of my inspiration shots, but it's still a little bit difficult. That went really well. Alex and I agreed on some tiles, and we agreed on prices, and it just felt really, really good. So this is kind of what we're thinking right now. We love, I'm gonna show you guys some inspo photos around me right now from Pinterest. So I've combined all of these inspiration photos and we've picked our favorite pieces. This is what we are thinking for the floors in the bathroom. I'm gonna show you guys right here a photo of some of these tiles placed together. It's so beautiful. Our bathroom right now is painted this green color, and obviously the bathroom will be completely different and we're not going to keep that paint, but we do quite like how it looks in the house, and we understand why the previous owners chose that color for that space and throughout the house, really. So we kind of feel like this pays tribute to the charm of that green that currently exists, but also gives it color because we're going pretty white for everything else. Obviously the whole house is painted a warm white, Spanish white, and we feel like this just would look really nice with that. I'm so happy about this find. And then on the niche of the shower, so the spot that kind of goes in where you can put your shampoo bottles and stuff like that for storage, we're going to use this really beautiful octagon pattern, this tight, small octagon. I really love this look. Most of the photos that I pinned of bathrooms on Pinterest had this shape and look. So I couldn't be happier right now with the selections that we put together, and the prices are really nice too. You can, you know, find a tile that you really love, but it can be like double or triple the price of something that's similar to it. So we definitely made sure to think about cost as we were picking out pieces. Those of you who are wondering, I don't know, maybe some of my tile lovers out there want to know, this is called Replica Florence Verde. So Replica Florence Green. And this is some tile that we grabbed for the fireplace tile. Like I said, it's bright red right now. It's not gonna go with anything that we have in the house. We're not huge red fans for just colors that go into our house. We just like neutral tones. And so we really like these mix of patterns. This is very Moroccan, and we love that it's neutral. We think it would go really well with the Spanish white walls and our current fireplace. We may end up renovating the fireplace at some point, but I don't think that will be for a very long time. So we really love this. These are made in Spain and they are stunning. So I'm very excited about these. I also love how they feel, and it's a really small area, so the price was really great on this, and because it's such a small space, it's really not gonna cost much, or at least not too much. So we're really happy with everything that we picked. Now we are heading over to a place called Zip Plumbing, where we can look at some of the finishings, like the hardware. So we're gonna bring in these pieces for the bathroom so that we can kind of see what might go with them. And then this one for the fireplace, we can just leave in the car. From doing errands in town. We ended up stopping by Mitre 10 and the grocery store on our way home. We got some crucial stuff like, what is that noise? Oh, Lanka's chewing on a bone. I got this bamboo broom and this bamboo mop, and then also this brush cleaner. So these are all, oh my gosh, a little ladybug. Hello. Let's bring you back outside. You don't want to be in here. Look at this little ladybug. Look at that little ladybug. Just crawling around. Let's go outside. I'm gonna put you on a flower. Oh, this is great. You can wash this. And it also has this side, so like you could just put a towel on it if you want. I'm into this. I really like this mop. This mop would have come in very handy yesterday when our mudroom was essentially the Titanic. It feels so good that we just went to the grocery store and put all of our groceries in the fridge. This is our second time doing that after waiting like 21 days without having a refrigerator. It's the simple things, and the fact that I have a load going right now in the mudroom. We have a washer dryer. It works so well. I did a load before we left and I came home to fresh, warm, dry sheets, and that feels great. We hung a lot of clothes this morning out to dry, but while we were gone, I thought, okay, let's just let the dryer run on this one. So we won't always have this much laundry. We've just been collecting it for the past month because we haven't had a washer. So it feels so good to be just washing everything right now. It also feels so good that we went today to get an idea of what the bathroom renovation will look like. Obviously, we have a lot of time, so we could switch things in and out, but we definitely have a good grasp of what we want to do with the floors, with the bathroom shower combo, with the vanity. We went into Zip after we left Tile Warehouse, as you guys saw, and we just picked out some really great stuff, and it's just, I'm so happy with what we're going with. And if things switch a little bit because we find other things that we like along the way, because we have all the way till February to pick everything out, that's fine too, but we definitely know overall what we're going with, the vibe and the design and kind of where everything's going, how big it needs to be, and how we want the tiles laid out, and what kind of tiles we want on the floors, and what kind of tiles we want in the bathroom, and the hardware in the shower, kind of what colors we're looking for. Everything's going to be kind of like a goldish brass because the hardware on the vanity is that way, and the sink, it's like this brass color that like gets even more beautiful over time. They showed me one of the faucets that like had been lived in for a couple of years, and they just, oh, they age beautifully. So I'm so happy with it. It definitely is like a farmhouse vibe. The floors feel sort of Moroccan Mediterranean, but that green color like really does bring in the farmhouse vibe. And the vanity that we chose has these like wood, kind of light wood paneling that's painted white with gold hardware. It's just all gonna look beautiful together, and I'm very, very excited about it. Hello, welcome to another day. I am currently taking the sheets off of the bed in this room to wash them. I'm switching us from this room to the room that we just finished painting the walls and the trims. It's so fresh and nice and bright and white, but warm in there. And this room needs to get done. As you can tell, it's still green and it's in pretty bad shape. This is probably the worst room out of the 3 rooms that we have in terms of just the condition that it's in. So I'm really looking forward to having this room done. This room is probably going to end up being the master when it's finished because it has 2 windows that are gorgeous, and it's definitely not bigger than the other room. I think these 2 rooms, the ones that we just finished and this one, are the biggest rooms. And then there's that small room in the corner that we finished first. That was the first room that we finished. There's a car there, and there's never cars on our road, so I'm just curious who's in it. This room and the room that we just finished are probably the same size, both pretty sizable rooms. So we were debating which one we were going to make the master. I don't know if I've mentioned that in a vlog before, but we were debating that for a bit. And now I think we've decided on this one just because of the double windows. In the summer, it'll just be so nice to have this as our master because of the view. The view is really nice in here too. But for now, we're going to switch over to the room that was just finished so that this room can get done, and so that we can like feel fresh and like we're living in a finished room for the meantime while we paint in here. We still have to do the hallway, the living room, and the kitchen. We're going to do just one little part of the kitchen because we're actually going to renovate the kitchen next year, as I've said before. So we tried marking up some, we initially went into test pots too quickly all over the house. We were like, what about here? What about here? Let's try it in this room. And we just went crazy. And then we realized, oh, we probably shouldn't have done that, especially in the kitchen where we're not renovating it for a while. So we're going to paint one section of the kitchen where we did all of the markings because we can make it look better for now. And we're not even going to touch the bathroom because that's going to be done as well. And it's fully painted like a green color that we, why am I having such a hard time getting this out of here? This is such a big comforter because it's for a king bed, because that's what we have. But we're using it on this queen inflatable mattress right now until we bring our king to the house. So yeah, I'm just going to do all of these sheets so that we can transition into the new room with fresh new sheets. I'm gonna put my fiddle leaf fig tree in there as well because there's nice light in there right now, and it's gonna feel good to just be and a clean, freshly painted space. We've given it some time to air out, and so it's gonna be really nice to be in that room. By the way, you guys all saw the clip that I posted earlier, and if you're here after Alex's video of the water incident we had in here, all is well. It's been aired out, and we just like left all the windows and the door open for a while, and so no water damage or anything that we know of has occurred. We're eventually changing this laundry room to tile completely, and then we're going to push back this wall because the water heater is behind this wall and it doesn't need to be. We're actually moving everything. So this room can actually be a lot bigger than it currently is right now, which is actually a really great size for a laundry room slash mudroom. And I'm really excited for what we can do with this space. It's really useful. On that side of the room, there is a toilet. This is the room with a toilet. It's pretty basic right now, but I'm looking forward to making that a lot nicer. And then this is where I'm thinking about doing a bench, and then this wall will be pushed back, so we'll actually have even more space. Fix that wall, of course, paint everything, freshen this all up, and then have this be a space where we can put our hats and our coats. I'll put an inspo photo on the screen right now so that you guys can get an idea of what I'm thinking. And then yeah, this hole in the wall will no longer be here. This will be off, and then the wall will be pushed back, and we'll have tons of more space in here. So I'm actually going to get this going. I'm not really sure what people think about having a washer and dryer in one machine. We really like it. I think there are benefits to having it as a washer and dryer in separate machines, and there are benefits to having it in one machine. We really like that yesterday we went into town and we were able to set it to wash and dry, and when we came home everything was done. You don't have to switch it from one machine to the other. I think the benefit to two machines is that you can do more laundry at once. So if something's in the dryer, you can put a new load in the wash. But honestly, because there's just two of us, we don't have that much laundry just right off the bat right now, because we've obviously been like waiting to get this washer dryer here. So we have stacked up on clothes, but we also have some hanging over here on the side of the house. Whenever Wilson sees me, he always bobs at me, no matter if I just fed him or not. This is where we have been hanging our laundry that we don't throw in the dryer. This is an interesting part of the house that you guys have probably never seen. This is a cage of some sort that we believe that the previous owners used for their sheepdog or sheepdogs. We obviously are not going to be using this, so we are going to be removing it as soon as possible, sometime here in the spring, because we're actually going to use this space for garden prep. We're going to put a table there and use it for potting plants. We're going to get rid of this wood. We're going to reuse it for a different project, but we are going to probably put seedlings in this corner and just make this sort of our garden workshop, because it's connected to, as you can see through that door, it's connected to our veggie garden, and then it actually has a really beautiful view of the paddock, and the sheep are normally grazing over here if they're not over in that paddock. So we've just been hanging up our clothes here because there were already clotheslines here. So I'm gonna be grabbing these right now because they're all finished. I just got out of the bath. It was a long bath, and it was simply lovely. Honestly, sometimes there is just nothing better than taking a bath or a shower and just putting comfy, clean clothes on. Got some cozy socks here too. It feels so incredibly good after a really long week to be in this finished room. At least the paint is finished, and obviously everything else in here right now is temporary, but at least we've got clean sheets, and I've set up my mirror and my fiddle there, and I'm actually going to use one of these face masks. I'm either gonna do aloe or vitamin. I think I'm gonna do vitamin C. This is a sheet mask. And I think it can be really easy when you're doing home renovations and you're kind of sometimes feeling like you're camping because you don't have your furniture and you're sort of moving from room to room, and life is just kind of chaotic and different every day, and nothing's where it's going to be, but you're kind of in this phase of renovations, and that's just sort of how it is. It can be really easy to let self-care go out of the window, and I know that I've been that way. It's kind of like you wake up in the morning and there's immediately something to do, and it's just harder to have, you know, that like picturesque day of like, you know, everything going right. And we definitely have those mornings here for sure, but then we jump into, you know, something to get into or to update or to paint or cracks to seal. Like this room feels serene right now, but right outside that door is a construction zone. We've moved into the hallway, so that's the next place that we are painting. But I'm really looking forward to just decompressing tonight, doing self-care, being in this room and just like reading and relaxing. It's so nice in here. The view is beautiful. I lit a candle and I'm just feeling really at peace and content and kind of reflecting on the week and thinking about everything that we have accomplished, because I think the big thing here is that it can feel super daunting and overwhelming when you think about all of the things that we have to do and how much time it's really going to take for us to get this place to where we want it to be. But I think it's about reflecting and remembering that this is all part of it, and to not try to just skip past all of this part. I think it can be easy to feel impatient and eager to get to the next step, but we just have to take it step by step, because if we hired people to turn this place around in a month and we hired people out for absolutely everything, it would cost a fortune. That's why we want to do a lot of this DIY and bring the professionals in where need be. I feel like this video was bits and pieces of a lot of different days this week, because I picked up my vlog camera whenever there were highlights throughout the week. And I normally, before I go into an edit, I normally have a storyline in my head of how it's going to go. And for this specific one, I really don't. So I hope that you all enjoyed this one. It'll be an interesting one to edit, but sometimes this is just how they'll go. It's still a weekly update. You guys got to see all of the big moments this week, and I hope that you all enjoyed it. I'm gonna go do this face mask. I'm gonna drink some water, and I'm gonna read and just kind of unplug and take care of myself tonight so that I can get back into all the things that we have to do tomorrow feeling refreshed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon in a new one. Bye.